Hello everybody and welcome to another update video. Yes, it's this time of the year again where I talk a little bit about what's coming up on my channel in the next few months because at least one of my two slots is going to end in, well, maybe about 2 weeks. So I figured it was about time to think about what's going to happen after that. The slot that is going to end is slot B, which is the one where I'm currently playing Tomb Raider. I'm currently, as of recording this video, about 70% done with the game. So I estimate it will be another maybe 7-8 episodes until it's finished. So that would be about 2 weeks. And yes, Deus Ex Mankind Divided is also approaching the end. I'm currently recording the final DLC for that game. However, as you may remember, if you watched my previous update video, I still have another game scheduled for that slot. And that game is Life is Strange Before the Storm. So my attempts to balance the two slots so they would end roughly at the same time completely failed this time. As a matter of fact, it looks like Deus Ex is going to end at roughly the same time as Tomb Raider. So I will barely have started Life is Strange Before the Storm when Tomb Raider ends. However, it's not going to be a big problem. I'm just going to put Life is Strange in my next schedule as the first game, and then I will add a bunch of other games. But before I go into details on the games that I have picked for the next few months, there is another thing that I would like to talk about. Something for, the far-reaching future, I guess. And basically that's the future of the Assassin's Creed franchise on my channel. So first of all, I always said that, I want to finish at least the Ezio trilogy and then I will decide what to do next. And by now I have come to the conclusion that I definitely want to continue playing Assassin's Creed games. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to play all of them because, it is a very large franchise with a lot of games. And some people suggested that maybe I should skip a few games because, they really want me to play some of the newer games like Odyssey. And personally, I am very much looking forward to Origins because, it's ancient Egypt. And ancient Egypt basically is what made me fall in love with history. I have a general interest in history, but my prime interest has always been the ancient world, so Origins and Odyssey would be right up my alley, and I am very much looking forward to that. On the other hand, I also kind of want to experience the other games and the different time periods and the story and the lore, so I was really on the fence about that. And I know I could ask my viewers, make a poll, but from experience I know that some people will say this and some people will say that. And I will never be able to make everyone happy. So what I decided is basically a compromise, which hopefully will make everyone happy, or maybe it will make nobody happy. It depends on the compromise, I guess. But the idea that I had is that I will play all the games, the main games of the series anyway, but for the, let's say, less popular games of the franchise, I will make a bit of a reduced playthrough, meaning I will focus on the main story and maybe the most important side missions, the most important DLC, but I will cut a lot more stuff than I did for the Ezio trilogy. So for example, things like assignments that are kind of repetitive if you think about it, I will probably cut for at least some of the upcoming Assassin's Creed games. I will probably include a few of them if they are interesting enough. However, it stands to reason that I will probably skip some parts entirely, so I will not play every side mission. It goes against my usual playstyle, I like to play completionist, but obviously if I play all the missions and then cut out like 50% of it, I still have to spend a lot of time recording to finish just one episode, and that might not be feasible. So in the end, I may have to completely skip at least some stuff for at least some of the games. Like I said, the less popular ones, I guess. And then once we get to the newer ones, Origins, Odyssey, I will probably go back to the more completionist style. And I feel it makes kind of sense. I mean, yes, I like to 100% games, but I think it makes more sense for role-playing games where, you know, even side missions can help you to build your character. But in a linear game like Assassin's Creed, the side missions are basically all the same, you know, no matter who plays them, so it's not going to be all that different from the way you played them or any other Let's Player plays them. Yes, there is a certain amount of freedom and sandboxiness, but the outcome and, you know, the essence of the missions are always the same. So I think it's going to be okay if I cut out more of that stuff that's going to be repetitive after like 5 or 6 games. And I mean, that way I can experience the story and the lore and all the different historical periods, and still not like completely bore you with repetitive side missions. So I hope you're going to appreciate this compromise that I came up with. Now, the next game that is coming up in the Assassin's Creed franchise is Revelations. According to the stats from howlongtobeat.com, Revelations is fairly short to begin with. It's shorter than Brotherhood and the first Ezio game. So that one I may still more or less 100% and show all the stuff. But the next game in the series, Assassin's Creed 3, is probably going to be my test balloon. It is apparently one of the not so well received games of the series, so I will probably start to cut out more content from that Let's Play. So yeah, I figure that way I can finish maybe a game in, you know, not 30 episodes or 40 episodes, but like 15 to 20 episodes. That's my plan anyway. So it's going to speed things up a little bit, and we will get to the newer games a lot faster. So that's the first thing that I wanted to tell you, and I hope you are happy with my compromise. But yeah, now let's talk about the other games that I picked for the future. In my last schedule, I had 5 games that I picked. In this schedule, I have, well, first of all, Life is Strange Before the Storm, because, you know, I already announced that. And I have 6 more games that I added to the schedule. And the schedule is going to look like this. So again, we have slot A and slot B, alternating from day to day. And slot A is the one where I'm currently playing Deus Ex, and as I said before, once that is done, in a few episodes, we are going to play Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is the prequel to Life is Strange, as you probably know. And then we are going back to a Telltale game, but it's not going to be The Walking Dead, but it's going to be The Wolf Among Us, because of all the Telltale games, I think that one was requested most frequently, so we're going to try that out. I know nothing about that game at all, so that's going to be interesting. And then we will go back to Lara Croft. So I have decided I will also play the successor to Tomb Raider, so that would be Rise of the Tomb Raider. This game is a little bit longer than the first one, so we're going to play that for maybe about 24 hours. But my estimations were not as correct as I hoped, so I'm not sure how correct they're going to be this time. Again, I kind of try to balance the 2 slots to be roughly equal in length, but I don't know if that's going to work. And then I have one more game for slot A, and that's going to be a new franchise that I have not played on my channel before. it's going to be Dishonored. So, another stealth game, I guess. Apparently I'm getting very good at stealth games. I feel very confident that I'm able to tackle another stealth game, so I picked that. It has been on my poll that I posted like half a year ago, and again it ended up somewhere in the middle, but I'm kind of curious about that game. So that's my schedule for slot A. So the other slot B, which is the one where I'm currently playing Tomb Raider. No big surprises here. The next game, as I mentioned before, is going to be Assassin's Creed Revelations. And then after Revelations, I like to take a short break from Assassin's Creed because I don't want to burn myself out on Assassin's Creed, so I think it's important that I take some breaks from the franchise. But I picked a short game as a intermezzo, and that one is maybe going to be a little bit different. It's one that I picked myself. It was not part of any poll, but I'm kind of curious about it. It's Resident Evil 2, the remake. I have played Resident Evil 2, the original, long time ago. I have played a number of other Resident Evil games. I think the last one I played was 6. I haven't played 7 so far. But since Resident Evil 2 has been pretty well received, I would like to give it a try. And like I said, it's fairly short, so the break between Assassin's Creed is not going to be a long one. And then, yes, after Resident Evil 2, we're going back to Assassin's Creed. And the next one is obviously going to be Assassin's Creed 3. And again, that one I will edit more heavily and I will see how it's received by my viewers. But I think it's going to be a good idea to shorten this a little bit. And finally, for slot B, we have another short game as an intermezzo. And it's going to be another Telltale game, Tales from the Borderland, again highly requested. So I'm curious about that. I have not played the actual Borderlands games, but I was told that it's not necessary. So I hope I will enjoy it nevertheless. So yeah, that's going to be the schedule for after I finished Tomb Raider and Deus Ex. I guess this schedule is going to take another 4 to 5 months maybe. I mean, it has a lot of short games like the Telltale games, Resident Evil, so it's not going to take all that long. And yeah, that's a good diversity of games, I hope. I hope some of that is according to your liking, and I hope you're going to stick around. And I can't tell what comes after that schedule. I mean, most certainly the next Assassin's Creed game, which is Black Flag, I guess? I think it's Black Flag, but I would have to look it up. So yeah, that's my plan, and I wanted to let you know what's coming up. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and I hope you're going to keep watching. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for checking out this update video, and see you again next time.